Minecraft survival can be hard. That's why today I brought together 5 early game farms that'll bring you from this to this. And not only will I be showing how to make all 5 of these farms step by step, to prove that this is the most efficient way of starting, I'm going to be going into a brand new survival world to build everything out and show you how efficient it is. And before we get started with the first farm, I did want to mention that I did add timestamps to this video, so if you don't want to watch any of the farm tutorials, you can just skip ahead and watch me build them in survival. Alright, so the first farm we're going to be focused on is the automatic chicken farm. Basically what's happening here is we have a bunch of adult chickens up top. They're going to hatch eggs, and this dispenser is automatically going to detect when an egg is in there and then launch an egg out to try to hatch a baby. And then once these babies grow, they'll go into the lava and then get burned for cooked chicken. The process to build a chicken farm is very simple. So first you want to start out with a 9x3 area, and then these are the materials you're going to need. You're also going to want to grab some temporary blocks and then some wheat seeds to breed the chickens once they are in the chamber as well. For the first step, all we want to do is just add a double chest in, put a hopper going into the double chest, and then just a slab and a dispenser. For step 2, we want to put 3 blocks on each side. This is where the chickens are going to be going into. And then you want to put a comparator and a repeater here, and then a repeater going into this block, and then redstone all around, connecting back to the comparator. For step 3, all you need to do is add a lava block up top here, add some glass here, and then you want to put a hopper into the dispenser, and then 2 hoppers coming out. This is going to be the area for our chickens where they can breed and then hatch their eggs that will go into the dispenser. For step 4, all you have to do is add glass around this hopper area and some slabs on top. You can use normal blocks for these as well. I just like glass so you can see how many chickens you have in there. And then all you have to do is put the chickens inside, and your farm is all set. It will hatch eggs automatically. Once these chickens grow, they'll burn, and their items will be collected into the chest. Alright, so immediately we're going to get started off with the chicken farm to address our food situation. I did spawn in a snow biome, so I gotta go around and explore until I find a biome that maybe has chickens in it. But for now, I'm just going to grab some wood, get my base materials, and then go exploring. If you guys are enjoying the videos and you have some video ideas for what I should do next, let me know down in the comments and like the video too, so I know what to keep posting for you guys. Okay, here we go. I found a village on an island, I think it is. So this is a really good start because not only can I do this chicken farm, but I can also set up for the next farm that I'm going to be building. All right, well, I set up a little base here and got everything together. So I think now I'm going to start going for the materials for the chicken farm. Wow, I also just realized I accidentally put cursive binding leather pants on. So I'm going to have to either wait until these break or die. All right, perfect. We got our bucket of lava here. So only thing I'm missing is just some redstone. Ooh, okay, there's a mine shaft down here. I'm not sure how much of it I'm going to explore because I honestly just want to get this redstone and get out, but it's pretty cool that there's one here. Okay, this cave is starting to get pretty deep, so I hope I'll be able to find some redstone down here. Oh, and here we have some redstone, finally. Took me longer than... Ooh, okay, another creeper. Gotta get rid of him first. Honestly, the redstone did take me a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but we ended up getting it, so I guess it's not too bad. Okay, and got some more diamonds up here as well. So now I do have enough for an enchantment table as well, which is perfect. Okay, I'm going to start heading to the surface now because I have all the materials I think I need for now. Alright, so I did just realize I do have all my materials here, but I did just realize that for the comparator you need quartz. And I want to get this built as soon as possible, so for now, I'm just going to set it up to a redstone clock. But once I go to the nether, I'm definitely going to get some quartz so I can do the comparator, just so the annoying sound is not there. Alright, I found my area I'm going to build it. I'm going to go right here. Let's work. The process to build this farm was really easy. It literally takes like 5 minutes to gather all the materials and then like 5 more minutes to build it out. So it's definitely a good early game farm to start you off with some food. And boom. Just like that, we have the farm built, all set up. I have it hooked up to a redstone clock right here. So once I get the comparator, I'll do the comparator. But for now, just have it on a redstone clock with a lever that I can toggle on and off. Uh-oh. I didn't think about this, but I also didn't realize, but this lava was close to the wood, so I had to cut some of this off. I'm gonna block it off too, just in case. I want to make sure, but yeah, farm's all set up, so I'm gonna get these chickens in here. All right, I have some chickens here. There's one more over here, so I'm just gonna bring all 3 and then breed them as fast as I can, and we'll see how much chicken we really get from the farm. It's all hooked up with all the chickens inside. I'm gonna breed them up. I have 3 eggs. Let's see if... Okay, we got 1, 2. All right, perfect. So we have a couple chickens in here now. All right, so since I have this chicken farm set up now, I'm just gonna get straight to work on the villager breeder. I'm not gonna waste any time because I'm gonna try to make maybe even 2 iron farms. The next farm is going to be the automatic villager breeder. So we have 2 villagers up here. We're going to give them food and they're going to breed. The babies are going to fall through this fence post right here, and then they're going to come down the chute into the water, and then from here we can do whatever we'd like with them. Start off, you're going to need around a 7x7 area. You can compact it even more because it is really small, but 7x7 is a nice reference point. The materials you're going to need are these. So you need a couple beds, you're going to need some carpet, trapdoors, and then again, some temporary blocks. First step, you want to just build up a little bit. It doesn't matter how high you build, just don't build too high to where the baby villagers will fall down the chute and take a lot of fall damage if you don't have water at the bottom. And then what you want to do when you're up here is surround that top block with wooden planks and then just place beds around in this formation. For step 2, all you're going to want to do is remove your temporary blocks and replace this top block with a fence post. This is where our villagers are going to be standing. And then you want to surround the beds with trap doors and then carpets in the corners. This is for when the villagers sleep. They are not going to spawn back on these beds. They're going to go right back into this hole. And for the final step, all you have to do is add the villagers into here, give them food, and they will begin to breed. Since these babies are dropping down the chute, these villagers will infinitely breed because they think there's going to be babies that will be able to use these beds, but the babies will just fall through either way. All right, I have all the materials ready in here. I'm just gonna break this and pick everything up. And I'm gonna try to get this built before daytime comes so I can get these villagers lured in. And this was another super easy build. As long as you just grab the beds from around the village, it literally takes like 2 minutes to gather the rest of the materials. And then you just put it all together, put the villagers in the top, and you're all set. This farm also has an insane payout for how easy it is to build because you literally need villagers for every aspect of late game. All right, that should be it all built out. So far I just have them going into here for now. I just want to get some villagers up there while it is nighttime, and then I'll make an actual room for these baby villagers to go into. I think I got this villager. Okay, nice. So he's going up. He should go into the bed. Okay, perfect. So we have 2 villagers in here now. I'm just gonna break these blocks here. All right, perfect. So the villagers are in their spot now. All I have to do is give them some food. Babies will start coming out. I'm just gonna build a little area down here for the babies to grow up, and then we can move on to the next farm. All right, so I spent some time just making a little nice storage system over here outside, just because like in here is so tight, and so I was just like, whatever, I'll just put some chests outside. And I accidentally opened this trap door to this villager breeder, so this guy's literally stuck up here doing nothing. I'm just hoping he's not gonna fall until nighttime, because when it turns back to night, he's gonna go into his bed and then spawn back in the hole. So I'm just hoping for then, and then maybe they'll start breeding after. All right, perfect. As you can see, they are breeding. They finished breeding. Baby comes out, drops through the fence post down to here, and now I have a baby flowing right here. I think I'm gonna dig a little area out over here for these babies to stay, and then I'm gonna transport them over to the next farm area. All right, so we do have 2 villagers down here now. One of them's actually grown, and then these guys are about to start breeding another one once I give them more food. So I'm gonna start building up the next farm. Our third farm is going to be a very simple early game iron farm. This iron farm requires minimal materials. The biggest thing is just the villagers that you need to get in here. Once you have the villagers in here, it's very, very good source of passive iron. What we need is a big area. We need a 21 by 21 area, and these are the materials for it. So we need 5 beds, a shovel, and then all these blocks you see here. For the first step, all we want to do is dig a 3 by 5 area, and then we want it to be 4 deep. So we go 5 across, 3 width, and then 4 deep. And then you want to layer the bottom floor with 5 beds and then 5 slabs here, and then also some torches for spawn proofing. For step 2, you want to cover up the hole you just made after you get the villagers inside, and then on one of the corners, you want to do this formation of hoppers with a double chest. And for the final step, I know it looks intimidating, but it's very simple. You just want to surround this area with walls first, and then off these walls, you want to put signs in this corner. This is where the iron golems will be flowing into, and you want to put a lava block in here. And then you want to put a water block on the opposite side, so this will flow into this hopper. You also want to make sure that you have path blocks around the entire chamber, so that the iron golems can only spawn in this area. For the path blocks, you need 7 out in each direction from the farm. So 7 here, 7 there. And also, just to show the villagers inside, we do have 5 villagers in here. Without a zombie, 5 villagers is required, but if there is a zombie in here, which does make it more efficient, you can only have 3 villagers and the farm will still work. Alright, so I've gathered all the materials for the iron farm. I just need the lava bucket, but I'm just going to build it out and then get the lava after. So I decided I'm going to go with the zombie upgraded variation just to make it more efficient, because why not? So I'm only using 3 villagers, and then I'm just going to add a zombie too. As for where I'm building it, instead of using path blocks, I'm just going to go ahead in the middle of the ocean over here. I'm going to go a decent distance away from these other villagers just so it doesn't mess with the spawning of the iron golem. And yeah, I'm just gonna go probably out here should be good. And then I'm just gonna build it over here so I don't have to do the path blocks. Now, you could say that this build was a little harder than the other two, but it honestly is similar to the villager breeder, where the hardest part is just getting the villagers in and then also setting up the zombie in my case. Other than that, like the build itself is not super difficult, so it's something that can be done early game for sure. All right, so perfect. I have everything built out now. All I need to do is just get the villagers in here, and then I'm gonna bring a zombie as well. I have to wait for nighttime for that. So, all right, so now I'm just gonna go back, bring the villagers from over here back to that iron farm over there. All right, we got all 3 villagers in here, and I have my zombie right here. So I'm gonna block this off, and then I'm gonna try to get this zombie in the right spot. All right, now I have everything in place. I have my zombie in here, and then I have my villagers down there. All I need to do is just go inside of here, and then break this wall open, and then he'll have line of sight to the villagers. But before I do that, I need to go get lava so I can kill these iron golems off. I did find my lava, so I'm just gonna grab this and get out of here because there's like a million mobs over here. So, alright, so I placed in the lava and I have the zombie in the spot now. All I have to do is just break the line of sight of the zombie to the villagers, and this should be fully functional. Alright, now as you can see, I did break the line of sight, so there should be an iron golem spawning here soon. There you go. As you can see, we have an iron golem here, and it's gonna die. And the best difference between using the zombie upgrade and not having the zombie is that when you have the zombie, it works even during the nighttime. So these villagers are awake all the time, always calling for iron golems to spawn, and this is gonna be consistently working. So yeah, as you can see, this is all fully set up. You can see a little bit of the villagers in there running around panicking. We have our chest here, our output chest, and then we have iron golems spawning and dying to the lava, and then their items are being outputted into this chest here. So we have automatic iron now. The fourth thing we're going to build is going to be an auto sorter. So we have a bunch of chests here with certain items inside, and then we have an input chest up here, and all of our items go in and they get completely filtered out, so everything goes in its respective chest. Nothing gets mixed up, and it sorts everything perfectly. This is also stackable, so you can make this as long as you want, as long as you have all the materials for it. For the auto sorter, the area you're going to need is 1x7, but it also does depend on how many you want. So I have 3 chests here, so this would be 3x7. And then our materials that we're going to need is going to be these. This is for 1 tile, so we need 6 chests, 5 hoppers, 3 redstone, 1 repeater, 1 comparator, 1 redstone torch, and then 6 blocks, some temporary blocks. And you also need an anvil with 4 random items. And when I say random items, this is going to be item you have to rename in the anvil just to make sure that the sorter doesn't get messed up. Now, for step 1, all we want to do is add in our double chest, make sure it's 3 high, and then put a hopper going into the back of each of these double chests. For step 2, we have all of our chests placed down. We just want to place 3 blocks out from this top hopper, and then comparators on this first block. And then we want to put 1 block in the middle here, and then another block down here, 1 more block here, and then a repeater going into this block here. For step 3, all we want to do is add in redstone on these 3 blocks, and then redstone torches down here. And then we need 1 more line of hoppers going into the comparator. And to finish off, all we need is these renamed items in here, and then 41 of whatever item you want sorted inside of the first slot. And you will also need another row of hoppers over these top hoppers here. This is where you're going to put items into your chest. It's going to flow through here and then go into these hoppers only if it's the right item. The auto sorter, I would say, is probably the most late game item that is on this list, but it is a really good item. Once you really have like a base developed and established, the auto sorter is like the best first thing to put in the base, just so you don't have to worry about storage as much. So over here we have a pretty big cave. I think this is gonna be perfect. I'm just gonna go head down there and then get as much of that lava as I can. Oh, okay, and we did find some more diamonds, which is a nice addition. Oh, and there's some more over here, which is literally perfect. All right, nice. So we got 6 diamonds. Honestly, I'm just gonna use it for tools and maybe upgrade my tools by the end just to show how much progress you can really make with this. One thing I am missing that I don't have a farm for though is leather. So either I'm gonna have to start that up soon, or I might just go exploring around and try to kill as many cows as possible. I'm also gonna be mining as much of this redstone as possible because I'm gonna need a lot for this auto sorter as well. All right, perfect. So I did find a lava pool, and there's some diamonds here too, which is good. I'm just gonna grab enough obsidian for another portal, and then honestly, I'm just gonna get out of here. All right, so I did make it out of the cave. Honestly, I got a little sidetracked, so I have around 3 stacks of redstone now, and then I also got 28 diamonds. So I have enough for a full set, which is good. And then this should be enough redstone for the auto sorter and the super smelter. So I'm just gonna get straight to building those. All right, and I am also gonna build out the portal real quick. I'm just gonna put it right here. Two things I need. I'm gonna get some quartz for comparators first, and then I also want an ender pearl so I can load this chunk because I don't know if I'm close enough to it, and I want it to be running all the time because I need as much iron as possible. So, all right, perfect. And I did just get a pearl, and I have a bunch of quartz on me, so this should be just enough to go back, and I'll be all set. Well, for now, all I'm gonna do is just make this comparator, and then grab some blocks, and then I'm gonna finish this farm out back here. All right, perfect. Now I have it all set up. There is no eggs in there, but soon enough there should be eggs coming in, and then more chickens coming out. So once that happens, and once there's a couple baby chickens in here, I'll show it to see if it's working or not. All right, so just to check up on the iron farm, it is still working. There hasn't been too much iron because these chunks haven't been loaded, but I've been sitting here literally for like 5 minutes, and it's given me 30 iron. So it's working really good. I just need to get one piece of soul sand so I can keep this chunk loaded, and it will be literally on overdrive. I just got 2 soul sand from the piglet. I was literally just sitting here on my phone waiting. I just gave him a bunch of gold, and I just got 2 soul sand. So that's literally perfect. I'm just going to use that and then my ender pearl, and then we can keep that chunk loaded at all times. Honestly, I never realized, but trading gold to piglins is another method of pretty decent leather too. I literally got 8 in 2 different trades. He gave me 4 and 4. So honestly, I might have to look into that because gold is really easy to find in the nether, and just trading with them is super easy. You don't have to do anything. All right, so yeah, all I'm going to do is go down to the bottom and then build a chute around one of these kelp blocks. And then I can just throw an ender pearl in, and this chunk will be loaded at all times. All right, perfect. Now we have a bubble column, and then I just need to throw the pearl. I hope I can get it in without hitting any of the walls, but throw pearl in, move out of the way, and boom. So as long as this pearl doesn't hit any of the walls and just stays floating here, which it looks like it will be, and we're going to have this farm running at all times, which is literally huge. I can hear the iron golems constantly flowing in and dying. Like, we already have a stack in 8. This is insane. And such an easy farm to build as well. It literally took me like 10 minutes. The longest part was just taking these villagers and then moving them over to the iron farm. But besides that, like, building it out is super easy. Okay, and we do have some baby chickens in the farm right now, which is really good. It's finally good to see that this is actually working like automatically, and I don't have to manually put it in every time. So if you want to go through the hassle of just getting 1 quartz for the comparator and just go in really quick to the nether and grab one and leave, then it's a very good farm. All right, so I gathered enough materials to make 6 tiles of this auto sorter. The only thing we're missing is the hoppers. I have the chest for them. I just need the iron. So I'm going to go check really quick how much iron is there. And just as a reference point, before I open this up, it's been running for about 10 minutes. I did gather some materials, so it took around 10 minutes. So this is how much iron it gathered in about 10 minutes. Wow. So we have almost 3 stacks and counting. As you can see, there's iron golems still in and out of here. Um, this is a really good amount of iron, especially early game for how easy it was to build this farm. This is definitely going to be enough for the auto sorter and might even be enough for the super smelter as well. I'm super happy with this farm. It was very easy to build. It didn't take much time, and it's really paying out very well. Yeah, so we had more than enough iron for all these hoppers here, and enough iron to make an anvil as well, which is insane. So I have 2 stacks of blocks here. These are going to be the blocks that I'm renaming that I'm going to put inside of the hoppers as the filler items, but I'm going to go dig out an area underneath my base, and then I'll see you then. All right, so I just dug a little spot underneath my base. This is where I'm going to be placing the chests. I'm only going to do 6 tiles for now, but you guys get the idea. It is just stacking this over and over all the way until you get as many chests as you want. All right, so we have everything built out correctly now. All I need to do is just get these filler items inside of these hoppers. So I'm just going to rename this dirt, literally just like spam my keyboard, just to make sure there's no other item that comes in that's similar. And then I'm going to fill these up and it should be all set. All right, so perfect. I got all these filled up with the filler blocks. And then if I just throw 64 of a block in here, it's going to start filtering out and it's going to hit this bottom chest first. And then, yeah, all I have to do is add another line of hoppers here for the stream of the entire flow, and then I'll be all set. Okay, and our chicken farm is also working, which is good to see. 13 cooked chicken, which is actually not bad, especially considering that it is fully automatic and I literally don't have to do anything except have it by my base. All right, and then just to kind of showcase the sorting, so I have my wood in here and then sugarcane in this chest. If I put both of them into this input chest, you're going to see the cane starts getting sucked out and it's going to go straight into here. So you see no cane in any of these chests, only in this chest here. And then if I take the cane out really quick and it starts taking out the wood starts flowing into here and all of these chests stay empty. So it is fully functional and now you can just throw everything in here and it'll automatically be sorted. You don't have to sit around running through your storage system and trying to find the right chest for the right item. All right, and then now that we have the auto sorter done, the last step of business is to build a super smelter. Our last build is going to be a super smelter. So we put in our item that we want to smelt in here, and then our fuel back here. These hopper minecarts will take it, distribute it evenly, and then have them all smelt and go into this chest. So for the super smelter, the area we're going to need is a bigger area. It's 12 by 4, and then these are our materials. And for the first step, what you want to do is place a double chest here. You want to do 7 hoppers going into it. If you do more than 7, the fuel and the smelted items will not distribute correctly. So this is hard locked to 7. And then you want to put hoppers on top and then hoppers into the furnaces in the back. And then you want 3 blocks on your top layer on each side and then 2 blocks on your bottom layer on each side. And then to finish off, what you want to do is place powered rails here. And then you need normal rails on top of all the hoppers and powered rails here. And then you want to do that in the back as well. And then you want to put 3 blocks here in this formation and a lever down here to power these rails up here. And then on this side, we want to do blocks in this formation and then 2 redstone torches to power these rails up here. Once you have your hopper minecarts in, all you want to do is just turn on the lever, have them start going, and then they will evenly distribute all of the items throughout the furnaces. I think I'm going to build this just like out here in the water. I'm just going to make like a little platform and then build it out here in the water just so everything's going to be close together. So then at the end I can showcase everything together. All right, so I did get the platform built out. I'm just going to gather all the materials for it and then put it inside of this chest and then we'll get to building it. All right, so we have all the materials gathered. The only thing we're missing now is the hoppers and then the hopper minecarts. And luckily we have a beautiful iron farm that's going to get us all that. And after another round of 10 to 15 minutes, we have 2.5 stacks and counting, which is literally insane, especially for how little villagers there are. This iron farm is keeping up with everything that I need over at my base. And there we go. We've made all the stuff we need and we still have 42 iron extra, which is literally insane. So I'm going to pick up all these materials and get to building the farm. Okay, I just realized I only had 4 power rails and this farm needs 8. I didn't even look at my own material list, which is crazy, but I'm just gonna go to Nether and grab some gold really quick so I can get the rest of the powered rails placed in. All right, and there we go. Just enough to craft 6 more powered rails, and I'm gonna go back and finish that super smelter off. All right, now all I have to do left is just put these chests in the fuel and for the smelting item, and this should also be all set. I just have to place in these hopper minecarts, and we'll be good to go. All right, now I don't really have much fuel, much coal. I literally have 4 left, so I'm using wood instead. And then I'm just doing dried kelp just to showcase how it works. But all we want to do is go ahead over here, and then we want to put our fuel into the back. It's going to immediately go into this minecart hopper. And then at the top, we want to put our items that we want to smelt. That's also going to go into the minecart hopper. And then when we flip this lever, you're going to see all these torches are going to get activated, and there's going to be an even amount in each one. So this evenly spreads it. And then once these are finished smelting, you're going to see the dried kelp start flowing into here. So this farm is super efficient. It's literally 7 furnaces at once, and you don't have to worry about the hassle of going into each furnace and then putting each of the items in there. You just put them in these chests and let these hopper minecarts go, and it'll be working perfectly. And that's basically going to wrap up our farms. This is a super strong start to a world. If you get these 5 farms built out early game, you're going to be set for mid game, and then even into late game, you're still going to be using some of these farms. I had a really fun time building out all these farms and making the tutorials for them. So let me know if you guys like this style of content. If not, drop a comment. Let me know what I should be doing next. I have some video ideas coming in, and I think they're going to be some bangers. But if you guys have better ideas, I'll definitely take those into account. But yeah, that's going to be it from me for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.